Okay. Okay, so my idea is horror. So it's about a group of people who sort of go. I don't quite know whether they go to the Hellfire Caves yet, or whether it's just a normal house, depending on budgets and stuff. All right. And they sort of interact with the other side. I don't want to do a Ouija board, but I might use like a pendulum or maybe a spirit box. And they speak to the other side. They meet a spirit, but they sort of interpret it as like mistaking it for a bad spirit, and then they sort of run away or possibly accuse it of stuff. And then there's another thing that's trying to trap them in either the caves or the house, and the nice spirit helps them get out in the end. I think that's where I'm going, and it might change as we go, but yeah. So, first question, what was the message of my production and social implications? Yeah.
I think it's kind of like, don't try and mess around too much in places where it's not like your business type of thing. Like, because a lot of people kind of go to like haunted places and then they go like use a Ouija board, and then like when stuff happens, they're like, well, why is this happening? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they kind of mess where they're not wanted or supposed to. So I think that's a good message to be like, well, like keep a good, like make sure you know where you're going and like it's safety sort of thing.
And I think your message is really solid, but once again it's making it visually and like simple so it's understandable, because I feel like if you said you've got two spirits, and obviously if you can't visually see them, it's like do they have like a certain sound, so like just one have a certain sound the other, so you don't have to be like, oh, it's the good one every single time, which kind of cuts out the story and it doesn't flow properly. But if you have like a sound, then automatically you know that it's like a better one or something.
I'm also gonna add to that a bit. I also wanted to have sort of, if it doesn't end too horribly, I want to sort of give it, not saying that spirits are real, but if they were, there are good ones and there are bad ones. Like there are good humans and there are bad humans.
So I was going to say, like, ghosts and all that are always perceived as like, you know, really awful or like really scary, or that you can't trust them or anything like that. That's quite interesting, doing the opposite way.
Yeah, they're given a bad image.
Yeah.
Who is it aimed at? What do you think? Because I'm not sure.
Probably our age.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's giving off this similar kind of vibe or energy of like Jumanji. Obviously, you did say like you don't want to do like a wiki board or that kind of thing, but like kind of that kind of target audience.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. What would the age range?
Like I think maybe us a bit.
Yeah.
More, maybe you could like venture out.
Okay.
It's engaging. It's fun.
Yeah.
But it's also obviously got that kind of message side to it.
So maybe
is there comedy in it as well?
I would even say 13-year-olds
That's not a bad idea.
to like 16.
I don't know about comedy.
Yeah, if there's no comedy in it, I'll probably keep it at a slightly higher rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there is, like Jumanji, there's comedy in that. But if there's no comedy in Jumanji, it'll be a lot darker. Than
I probably won't do comedy. I mean, I might slip a tiny bit in the start where things are all bright and happy, but
Yeah.
not
It depends
really
on the
planned.
mood. You're gonna
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. Like it's going to sort of progressively get darker until the climax, and then be happy again. Well, as happy as they can be. Why does my production matter? Why should it be made?
I think it's kind of just like an escapism again. Like it's, you don't have to think about like what's actually going on, especially for people who don't believe in spirits. It's kind of like, oh, I can like delve into like this fantasy realm and kind of just let my imagination go wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah.
Do you feel like you're approaching it in a way that's not been done before? Like a gap in the market for your kind of idea as well?
Yeah. I see lots of paranormal sort of thing around ghosts is either a comedy or it's a dark sort of like a genuine sort of production. So I feel like just like a peaceful but not at the same time with the horror tropes and stuff would be really interesting, because it's either sort of comedy and happy or it's really dark and horror. So anything else? Good? Okay. Thank you.
I think that's a cool idea.